Sort of a little couple tips and tricks from a beginner, someone who was a beginner once. Some may call me a beginner, but I will destroy them in the heat of battle from Pokemon cards. I'm gonna do that one again. I'm gonna do it again. You can't make me not do it again. I'm gonna fucking shuffle. I'm gonna fucking shuffle. I'm a mess. Trick that. Rule number 1, don't do that. I mean, rule number 1, that's how you shuffle. You got a 52 pickup, or 60 pickup. I'm still here. Hey there guys, how's it going? It's Nick here from Eyerus Games, and today I want to talk to you a little about getting into the Pokemon trading card game. I want to give you a couple tips and or tricks, if you will, on how to get started, because it's a lot to come into. A card game is, especially a card game that's been around for a long time, so you know, such as Magic or Pokemon, it's rough to get into because there's just so much knowledge that you have to sort of know inherently. So I'm just gonna give you a couple of tricks that I did, or some that I wish I did when I first got into this a couple of months ago. And yeah, so we'll just get into it. All right, so the first thing I'm going to tell you guys to do is the most obvious one, but surprisingly, I feel like I should still say it anyway, and that's learn the card game. I mean, it sounds stupid to say, but what I mean by learn the card game is watch some people play it first, get an understanding, and the best way to get an understanding on it is, I feel, go to Pokemon.com. You can put www if you want in front. You don't have to. They took that out years ago. I don't know why people are still doing it. But go to Pokemon.com, download the Pokemon trading card game online, or they're in that, those words are in there. I don't know what order they're in. Go there, download the game, and just play a couple trainer matches. They give you a deck to start off with. Not the best deck. You know, they don't give you the championship world-winning decks, but they give you a deck so that you can play, even if it's against trainers, you get an understanding of the game. So once you've played the online game a couple of times, you get a feel for it, you're feeling confident, you're feeling good, you beat you picked up a Kyogre X online and you smacked it down and you say, I win. What you're going to want to do is pick up one of these babies. This is the Primal Clash trainer box, but just get whatever your current trainer kit is, like the most recent expansion, basically. They're going to release a trainer kit, and what these puppies are is a box of joy, box of loveliness. I love these things. This was the greatest thing when I was starting off. Me and all of our friends, we saw somebody open one of these online. This is how the whole thing started. Somebody saw one of these openings. We're like, man, I want to open some Pokemon cards right now. And then we each got one of these trainer kits, and that was the best decision that we've made getting into the game. So I'll go real quickly over what it comes with. It just comes with stuff. It comes with a manual that has all the cards listed in the set, which is good to get familiar. Comes with a flip coin die. Instead of flipping a coin, you roll the die because it's a lot better. It comes with damage counters for when you're playing. Every time you do damage to somebody, you got to mark that they're doing damage to you. So put one of those suckers down, and then just a burn and poison. I don't even know if you can see these, but you'll get the idea. But basically, it just comes with everything, and it comes with 8 packs as well. So it just comes with a whole bunch of stuff that that allow you to just play right away. Even if you don't have the best cards or anything like that, you'll at least be able to have damage counters and, you know, rolling die and stuff like that. So, and also another underused feature of the box is the box itself is a great place to store your cards, because you might not think about it. You're like, it's just 8 packs, whatever. But 8 packs is 80 cards. 80 cards is, you know, it's 20 more than a deck. So I mean, like, I don't even know. This probably doesn't even show on the green screen unless I do this. But, I mean, this is a pretty thick 60 cards is in a Pokemon deck, and 80 cards is a lot of cards. So having a place to store your cards is also a great thing. So definitely pick up one of these things. They're great to get into. It really helps you out when you're starting, especially if you have a couple of friends that get the same thing with you. You'll be able to start trading cards, or, you know, you'll be able to use a lot more damage counters or whatever it is. So I suggest, if you have a buddy, each get a trainer kit. They're pretty cheap. I got mine Phantom Forces one. I'm pretty sure it was like 40 to 50 bucks from Amazon. So it's a great deal, even just for the 8 packs. You know what I mean? If you don't need it, if you don't need the damage counters and stuff, it's still a great thing. I suggest everybody And I'm assuming everybody already gets them because they're just great. I can't get all these little things. I just love them so much. Come here. I love them. Don't do it. All right, so the last thing we're going to do is the most expensive and most time-consuming and brain-consuming. This is all I think about nowadays, is Pokemon cards and deck construction. So building your first deck, let's say. So a couple of things to keep in mind when you're building your first deck is I would suggest keeping it limited to one energy type. So pick a type of Pokemon that you want to do. That way you don't have to worry about running multiple energies in your deck. It just keeps things straightforward and simple. And you know, a lot of competitive decks also just use one energy. I mean, that's what I like to do, but especially if you're a beginner, just try to keep it to one energy. We'll use water because that's the deck I have in my hand. So we'll use water for this example. So, but it could be any, and you can choose any energy you want. It doesn't have to just be water. Let me tell you. Second thing is try to lower your amount of Pokemon. Try to only have, you know, 2 to 3 different Pokemon in your deck. I mean, it's a lot harder when you're starting out because you won't have access to all the cards you want, obviously. So you might have to end up running a little more, but try to, when you're making a deck, try to think of it as having one main powerhouse Pokemon and one backup Pokemon sort of thing. I mean, there's obviously way more different combinations and stuff you can do, but try to at least think of it that way. Like, for example, I'm trying to find one. Oh god, this would have been a terrible hand. So, alright, so for example, we'll use this deck here. This is a Blastoise and Keldeo deck. I don't know if you can see this. My apologies, good sir. Please spare me. But the whole point of this deck is Keldeo here is your main attacker, and Blastoise is your backup, your supporter. He helps out Keldeo do a lot of damage. So those are the only real Pokemon, or the only real, you know, like stage 2 Pokemon that are in this deck. So when you're talking about the deck, you can just say Blastoise Keldeo. People know what you're talking about. You don't have to say this is a Blastoise Keldeo Squirtle Mewtwo deck. Like they'll understand that there's other cards, but the main features of the deck are these 2 cards here. So try to, you know, pick a main attacker. If you have like a Mewtwo EX, for example, that's a very it's a very good basic one because you can fit it in pretty much any deck because all you need is 2 colorless energy. And you'll be dealing tons of damage. Oh no! Alright, so the last thing to keep in mind when you're building your first deck is, break your chair apparently. Alright, so the last thing to keep in mind when you're building your first deck is do not overlook these guys right here, your trainer cards. These cards are the heart and soul of your deck, if you will. They basically just help you maintain consistency, I would say. Let's say you're feeling good about yourself. You're like, you know what? I don't need these stupid trainer cards. What are they? Worthless. They're not Pokemon. I'm playing Pokemon. I want to put Pokemon. So you just have a deck full of Pokemon and energies. Fuck everything else, right? So turn 1, you draw a Squirtle and 6 other Pokemon. Squirtle is your active position. Let's say you just put him in there because why not? So you have your Squirtle in your active. He's got poor little 60 HP. He's scared. He's up against a Seismitoad. Probably. Goddamn Seismitoads. So next 4 turns you don't draw anything but Pokemon. Then you lose a prize card. Congratulations. You feel happy about yourself? Now if you had an Ultra Ball in there, you could have threw away 2 of those worthless Pokemon and got the Blastoise you need. Or you could have Skylit for a rare candy, or you could have done a multitude of things. It's a good way of keeping you always where you need to be, and it could also be used to screw over your opponent. You know, you can end them down to 2 cards, or you could play a Team Flare Headringer or Jamming Net. Like they're great tools. Definitely do not overlook them, because if you go up and think I'm just gonna destroy them with all Pokemon, then you're gonna be in for quite a shock. So put a lot of trainers in there for sure. All right, so that's just a couple of tips, tricks, if you want, for beginners trying to get into the card game. I know it's a lot to try to get into when you're first starting, so just stick with it. You'll be fine. Don't worry. And then we will see you guys next time. Thank you very much for watching. So the first thing that I suggest you do is get a computer or a laptop. It can be either or. Go to www.www.www.